Space Nerds, Alpha 4.8 is getting closer and closer to live. Probably in less than 2 weeks. I would say like May 12th, I'm guessing, is our go live day. But we'll see when it is. Either way, they've got some new stuff coming in. As you know, I've been gone all week, so I don't know what the heck's going on. This is just me getting back into the patch notes. We're going to get much more into the specifics as we get back into things on Monday. But for now, refueling missions are in. And it sounds like maybe you don't have to type into global chat to get refueled anymore. Can I just go back to that? You guys mind? It just drives me crazy. And I think it just really puts into perspective where we have been in this game in Star Citizen and where we're going. Because it's just not operated as a real game before. This was the first release of refueling in 2022.
In our first iteration of refueling right now, we sadly don't have the quantum beacon set up yet. So if you run out of fuel, you ask for someone in chat who owns a Starfarer to come by and refuel you. This person with a Starfarer needs to get fuel from any station.
Now, anybody who plays in the American servers knows that's fucking crazy. So now we jump forward to present day and we start to see kind of where things are actually going with the more refined ways that they're delivering some of this gameplay. Refueling content in 4.8 comes in multiple parts with new refueling missions as well as improvements to the overall refueling playability. The first is a new set of contracts from the United Wayfarers Club that gives players who own refueling ships a dedicated mission type to engage with. The second part is a significant overhaul to how ship-to-ship refueling works at the system level, making the process faster, clearer, and less punishing. With this update, there is a new operator mode on the refueling ship, enabling refueling operator mode. Keep this in mind, operator mode. This is super, super important, everybody, to wrap your head around what an operator mode is going forward, because it's going to become important over the next, whenever they finally get around to changing master modes. This is just like with salvaging and mining mode, also just like with missile mode, scanning mode, combat mode, quantum mode. They're all operator modes. Players can enter the mode by pressing M. Entering the mode will automatically extend or retract the fuel nozzle, allowing either party to send requests for docking to initiate the refueling process. Once docked, fuel transfer can be initiated through the vehicle maintenance app. Just select the amount, confirm the purchase, and the fuel moves. For the fuel giver, it changed, however. As long as there are relevant pods open, the fuel flows automatically as soon as a purchase was made. Players can still manually control the flow, opening, closing pods, and transfer fuel from one pod to another. 10 new fuel pods and nozzles are also being added to the game, along with refueling beacons that let players in need of fuel broadcast a request to anyone in the area. Hold on, let me just skip ahead real quick to confirm. Refueling beacons. Players who have run out of fuel can now submit a refueling beacon from their mobiGlas specifying whether they need hydrogen, quantum fuel, or both. Within 5 to 10 minutes, an AI Starfarer will respond to the beacon and fly out to assist. A ship that is completely out of fuel cannot move, but auto-docking does not require fuel. Okay, so sounds like this beacon only goes out to AI, unless somebody in chat can confirm otherwise. I was real excited that they had just gotten the beacon system in sneakily. Let me show you guys how significant the beacon system is, just to preempt my excitement if that does end up being the case. It's players? They're player beacons? They got beacons working? No way, dude! Get out of here! That's actually really significant. Dude, that's enough. You could put that on the roadmap tracker, man. On the thingy thing. This, you could put beacons in here. That's huge. If my internet decides to work, I could show you guys what they have planned for beacons.
Efficiency rating. Responders can earn that rating by successfully completing service beacons. You go from bronze up to gold, which indicates your level of experience and success, and only the top few will be able to earn platinum status, which essentially puts you on a leaderboard and marks you as one of the best playing in your region. So when broadcasting, responders offer to help and you'll see their rating. Then you'll get to pick who you want to help you out.
So this is kind of the beginning of the player economy that Nick was talking about, right? That we listened to earlier. They said that they were going to have some economy-focused updates coming up soon. This matches up with a significant improvement with what we saw from their initial refueling offering, which told us to message in global chat, which is nuts. And now we're seeing this kind of coincide with the social services that, I mean, this is the same presentation where we saw the looking for group, the org tools, the new chat, all the stuff that we've been begging for, right? It is, if the beacons are in, this could be the player economy actually starting up, especially with crafting coming in, with the need to explore more systems coming in, with valuable things. All we really need is reputation after this for there to be some like real solid progression.
Automatically determining success or failure. So we're putting a lot of focus on making the system difficult to exploit as well, in the many different ways that it can be right now. So criminal types, like you, Benoit, will have to get much more creative.
So yeah, that's all great from the Beacon broadcaster's perspective, right? Pretty cool stuff. But they're not the only ones getting ganked. The Beacon responders, they're also in a bad position. So what are we doing for the Beacon responders? Well, we want to give you some idea of the risk you're putting yourself into by responding to the Beacon. So we're adding trust rating. So if we look at this person who's looking for some help to repair here, well, you can see their last 5 recent beacons that they've broadcasted. They have 2 neutral ones. Something's gone wrong, but it wasn't necessarily bad or illegal. Then they have a red one. That's bad. They have been up to something. But they have also been successful with 2 beacons. So, well, at least you can assess the situation before going into it.
So we're just seeing the beginnings of this come in, but it could be the beginnings of it, and that's significant if it is. It's good to see beacons coming in. The other way that you can get this is through missions. They say refueling contracts are now available from the United Wayfarers Club via the contract manager. Contracts are specifically designed for pilots operating refueling ships, such as the Starfarer. Mission completion requires filling a target ship tanks to at least 85%. Payment is held in escrow during the refueling process and released on successful completion. AI ships involved in contracts are always passive and will never initiate docking. The player must send the docking request. That's good, because I would hate AIs trying to force dock with me. That sounds catastrophic. Available contracts coming in with this are refueling a stranded ship. A ship has run out of fuel and is stationary at the marked location. Fly out, extend your boom, dock to the vessel, fill its tanks to complete the contract. The stranded AI ship will accept your docking request and will QT away once refueled. Best suited for Starfarer class ships with sufficient fuel pod capacity to fill a target tank from empty. Receive fuel from an AI refueler contract. An AI Starfarer will quantum travel to your position and offer to refuel your ship. Target the AI ship, press N to request docking, align to their nozzle, and confirm your fuel purchase in the vehicle maintenance app. Payment is taken from escrow once fuel transfer is complete and you undock. The AI ship will QT away after the exchange. All right, somebody's definitely going to be getting on board that ship, right? Guaranteed. People are. Somebody's probably already done it. It's a sting. We want to steal the Starfarer. All right, the third mission type is Distress Signal Ambush variant. Not every distress beacon is genuine. Some contracts will lead you to a decoy satellite broadcasting a fake fuel request signal. Upon arrival, the mission provider will warn you something is wrong before hostile AI ships quantum in and attack. Eliminating the attackers earns a bonus reward above the base contract payout. What's the base contract? Just refueling? Running from the engagement still completes the contract for the base amount. Hostile ship count is kept low, given you'll be flying a refueling vessel. Well, are you serious? You get paid for going there and then fleeing? Okay. That's interesting. It's funny too, because people will be like, I don't want to do player-to-player refueling. They might ambush me, and then the game's going to ambush you. Interesting. We'll have to do quite a bit of studying. I think I'm going to try and get a stream in with Sigelian. See if we could do a little bit of refueling and chatting about it as we do. because he is the go-to refueling guy, in my opinion. Let's move on to capital ship hangar services. This is something that we might actually see today if we get into the tactical strike groups. Here they're saying this is going to bring the same repair, restock, and refuel services you use at landing zones directly into large capital ships. When landed in the hangar of a supporting vessel, you can open your Mobiglass and request ship services just as you would at any station or outpost. This first release makes the feature available on the Carrack, Idris, Polaris, and 890 Jump, as well as the AI Idris in the Tactical Strike Group's mission. Players will need to stock their ship's cargo grid with the necessary items to refuel and restock, including hot dogs. Ammunition, countermeasures, quantum fuel, hydrogen fuel, and raw materials composites are now available at admin offices at Seraphim Station, TDD locations, and admin offices at major stations. I don't think it's kind of weird the way they just place things in stores, but I think that's just so that it's there, to be honest. Land in your hangar of a capital ship that offers servicing and remain seated in your ship. Open your Mobiglass and navigate to the Vehicle Maintenance Services app. Request repair, restock, or refuel as necessary. Services do not require any action from the crew of the ship. The feature is active during the Tactical Strike Group's mission on the AI Idris. So this is something that you will eventually have to do as the crew on the ship, but right now it just pulls it directly from your cargo grid. Capital Ship Service commodities are now purchasable at commodity shops across the PU. Ammunition, countermeasures, all that stuff, like they said, is available at all those shops. Pricing is set by the AI ship for this release and is not adjustable by players yet. Interesting. So this is a very, very bare bones application of the feature, but it is the feature. Like, we're taking a step into actually having capital ships do capital ship things, which is pretty cool. Next up is the Tactical Strike Group's mission polish. The general locations have had lots of LOD, performance art, and lighting polish. We've disabled the respawning of the turrets during the mission so they will no longer regenerate mid-mission after being destroyed. Players should now correctly be able to receive the crossbow blueprint as a reward from completing TSG. Crossbow mention. Lurch, I haven't even seen you be happy about it. Is it not good? Finally, the Hammerhead. Aegis Hammerhead Gold Standard. It has not finally, sorry. It has received its gold standard pass, bringing the ship's interior up to the level of quality established by more recently built and reworked vessels. Every area of the interior has been reviewed and polished, from the crew quarters and cargo hold through to the cockpit of the turrets, the captain's quarters, and the service areas below decks. The update also addresses a significant number of functional issues that have been present in the ship since its original release, including missing collision to several interior geometry pieces, vis area and atmosphere problems in the turrets, overloaded life support, and a collection of interaction and UI fixes across the cargo elevator, component bays, and power relay systems. I'm guessing they also put the components in. That was a pretty obvious lack. On the art and physical changes, the interior art has been fully reworked and brought up to gold standard quality. A missing locker has been restored to the crew quarters. Floating lights in the empty component bay for the cargo room have been corrected. Geometry in the fire extinguisher housing has been fixed. Bridge sign assets that were missing from the ceiling have been restored. Bathroom doors that were floating slightly off the wall have been corrected. Multiple LOD issues have been resolved, causing many doors and assets in the ship to lose textures or visibility at a distance. On the more technical and functional side, component bay doors now fully open. Previously, they didn't open all the way. Component bay housings have been resized to correctly fit the components they contain. Collisions have been added to the large component bays inside the cargo area, relay wall pieces throughout the ship, and areas in the captain's quarters, which previously had none. A collision box that was blocking the center of a main hallway has been removed. Sheesh, this ship was struggling, man. The cargo hold ladder is no longer blocked when the Grav Gen door is open. A Viz area portal issue in the cargo elevator housing has been fixed. A door type present throughout the ship had a recurring Viz area issue that's been corrected. The cargo elevator screen UI is no longer offset from its physical screen geometry. The right side personnel elevators no longer clip out of the ship geometry when lowered. The top turret access door on the gold standard variant can now be opened correctly. Turret MFD UI screens are no longer offset from the physical screen position. Turret MFD interaction prompts were mirrored and have been corrected. The power relay in the cargo bay now has correct interaction prompts. Upper deck component bay interaction buttons now have a larger and more reliable hit detection area. Special weapon rack doors now correctly play their close animation. Audio no longer abruptly cuts or changes when moving between interior zones. Bed prompts now correctly show a log out option. A false get up prompt when approaching beds before entering them has been removed. All right, system balancing. Life support has been severely overloaded on the Hammerhead. The load has been corrected to function within intended parameters. The front right turret cockpit previously had no breathable atmosphere. This has been resolved. The turret cockpit canopies now have collision, closing a previously open issue that allowed boarding through turret access points. The ship was a mess. But honestly, I still want to know, like, are all the components properly placed? Does this ship make sense now? I can't remember last time I went in it just did not make sense on the inside with the components. Guessing it's good now. Well, we'll check that out at some point in the near future, I imagine. Finally, for this patch, ship projectile velocities and armor penetration updates. With this update to 4.8, ship weapon speeds have been balanced across the board, with speeds raising at the low end and reducing at the high end. Ugh. So crunched. This update also brings balancing to heavy fighters' armor penetration so the fighter class can all damage one another and prevent heavy fighters not being able to hurt other heavy fighters. This, combined with the weapons changes that we're hearing them talk about at this latest Star Citizen Live that we will be seeing in the future, is really leaning into the idea of slowing down speeds even more when it comes to weapons. Largely that might be network related. Largely it might be cinematic related, as they say. Ultimately, I don't think it's what people want to see. I think there are ways to make lasers and shots look cool and cinematic through space without slowing them down even more. And I worry about, I mean, it says ship weapons, so maybe it's not going to include turrets, but I do worry about turrets getting even worse. And we really want them to be better. So we'll see where this goes. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what it does. I haven't gotten the chance to see any of this in game, so I'm going to hold off judgment. But this is the latest 4.8 patch. We'll be back on Monday with more updates, and I'll have time to actually wrap my head around everything that's going on, and we can definitely get more of like a good deep dive into the different things that are being added into 4.8, because this is a lot going on, guys. Anyways, hope you got the info.